Colonel Allen West was on the All American Talk Show, and he torched Jasmine Crockett. Now he said he lives, I believe, in Jasmine Crockett's district.
From us, a little history lesson. The largest state Republican Party in the United States of America is out of the state of Texas, correct?
Yes.
The Republican Party of Texas was founded on Independence Day of 1867 by 150 black men in Houston, Texas. So I think she needs to study her history. While black men were creating the Republican Party of Texas, white Democrats were creating the Ku Klux Klan in Texas. And Juneteenth was also something that was the enablement of the Emancipation Proclamation back in June 19th of 1865, when black soldiers landed there at Galveston, and the Union General announced that the slaves were finally free. So she needs to do a little bit of studying. But when I hear her talk about this inherently racist and all of this type of stuff, one of the things she needs to realize is that 12 or 14 border counties in the state of Texas went for Donald Trump in the last election.
Yeah.
Right.
That's all along the Rio Grande. And that's not, majority white area down there. The other thing she needs to understand is, why are we looking at this redistricting in the state of Texas? Two reasons. Number one, back in 2022 when we started the census, guess what was happening? Joe Biden had come into office and he opened up the borders. And so we had a flood of people coming into the United States of America, and definitely Texas, which has 1,249 miles of border. And the Democrats, her party, wanted these people to be counted in the census. Not citizens, but they wanted everybody. Numbers, people here illegally. Now, that is really unconstitutional, because citizens are supposed to be the ones represented. And that's the whole purpose of having a census, is to make sure that we are apportioning districts the right way. The other thing,
stop you there for a second? It always reminds me, whenever you hear this, and I'm curious what you have to say, of the reason we had the 3/5 compromise in the first place. Because the slaveholders wanted to count their slaves the full person.
Absolutely.
So
Down
they could have
south.
more power.
Absolutely.
And now the Democrats want to count illegal aliens
so they can have more power.
It's the same playbook, only a couple hundred years later.
Yes.
Democrats love slaves. They love anybody they can manipulate. And you see what they're doing, the same thing they did many generations ago, they're doing it again.
Massa always needs slaves to plow the land.
Oh my gosh.
Always. And they always looking for free labor. But look, to your bigger point, every law, bill, whatever, amnesty act, whatever, there are always unintended consequences. And there's always consequences that are not even known at the time that could possibly, come about later for the manipulation of whatever the law is. That's a principle that applies across the board. Mm-hmm. Nevertheless, this is the United States of America. The government, if you will, they work for us, not the other way around. And most Americans are sick of these illegal aliens, and they want them deported. Most Americans are supporting Tom Homan, Kristi Noem, and all of these ICE agents. They want them deported. And most Americans, I contend, are sick of these Marxist, leftist, progressives known as the Democrat Party.
Yeah, and I thought it was really cool to hear him give that history about the Republican Party in Texas, because the way Jasmine Crockett tells it, whoa, it's such a racist place, and
she's not even from Texas,
right?
So let's just do that. But the founding of our party, the founding of the Republican Party, is a beautiful story, right? But one of the things I think that he hit on that was really incredibly telling is this replacement theory, like you were talking about, and we said the other night that brown is the new black, and black Democrats should be smelling what the rock is cooking, honey, because they coming for you. But this is indicative of what they want. They want what they used to have in blacks. They want people who feel like their connection to this nation only comes to them through this party, right? You can't be free thinking. You can't say, well, you guys kind of screwed us on taxes last time, so I'm not going to vote for you this time. No, your very foundation in this nation is because of this party, brought to you by the Democrat Party. That can't be the narrative. It just cannot. The problem that I personally have with the people in our legislature, our Congress and Senate, let's say the greater Congress, the problem I have with them is that they're always advocating for them and not for us.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah, and
For them and not for us.
You're right. Imagine being a criminal in this country and a judge tells law enforcement they're not allowed to arrest you. An illegal alien who shouldn't even be in the country was shielded from ICE with a restraining order. 2 weeks later, he's arrested again for multiple crimes, including stealing a car with a baby inside.
2 weeks ago, Guillermo Reyes was at a rally outside Federal Immigration Court in San Francisco, where his attorneys argued the tattoo artist should remain out of ICE custody because he's lived in the U.S. since he was 6 years old. They contend Reyes is being unfairly targeted for deportation because of his activism, but he also has a criminal history, including a conviction for stabbing a rival gang member in 2013.
To be honest, according to the conversations that I've had with immigration officers, we're all criminals to them just because we weren't born here.
But you do have a record.
Yeah, but just like I do have a record as a juvenile.
The judge granted Reyes a temporary reprieve, but this past Sunday, he was back in custody, accused of several new crimes. Berkeley police say the bizarre string of incidents started here, when Guillermo Reyes called 911 to report a possible break-in. Officers arrived to find a broken window and found Reyes with a bloody hand. They took some information and left. 4 hours later, someone at this cafe called 911 for medical help.
Initially, I called in as a medical for a male breathing heavily, but now possibly a fentanyl overdose. Braids, no shirt, tattooed.
Police soon learned about a string of carjacking incidents. One happened here at this bakery, where the 3-year-old was in the backseat of a car, but Reyes was unable to get away because he didn't have the keys. And here at this gas station, where the 70-year-old victim was able to douse Reyes with gasoline before she was knocked down. And then down the block, where a big rig Reyes was driving stalled before he could get away.
Well, we got one detained here, and Narcan was deployed.
In the end, Reyes was taken into custody.
All right, we got to unpack this because I'm a little confused here. So the first call they made about this, where they said it was a break-in, he called the police. Is that right?
Sounds like he did.
Yep.
So was it him doing these carjackings?
Yes, allegedly. They allege that he was doing the carjacking and carjacked the car with the 3-year-old or something.
Yeah, he put
in the back, a toddler in the back of the car. But there's so much to unpack in this story.
I think it was him because he was overdosing. He had overdosed. So he probably needed help. So he did the break-in or whatever and called the police. But this is the thing. He's not even embarrassed, let alone, afraid to even be on TV, showing his face committing these crimes. But above or beyond, what's his name? Whatever. Reyes.
Guillermo
Reyes. Okay. The judges. These judges they're not really judges. Yes, they might have taken an oath. They had their credentials. Okay, whatever. But they are activists. Yes. They are activists, and they are anti-American activists. I don't know what constitution they are upholding. Maybe it's the Mexican one, or maybe somewhere in Europe. But they are not American, upholding the law for America. ICE needs to take them up when they go get these criminals. I don't even understand how this law can apply, because the federal law would supersede. Right, I'm sorry. Supersede California's law. These laws, every law is not valid. Let me say it that way. Or is not right just because it's a law. There's so many laws that contradict each other, and in this case, the federal law would have precedence.
Yeah, what are your thoughts on this, Nicole?
It's pure politics from beginning to end. Him being in the commercial, I call it a commercial. But, we can't deport him, we can't arrest him. You know, he has this protected status because he's been in this country for 25 years illegally. We're going to see a lot more of this because there are a lot of people who were brought here by their parent or a loved one or somebody when they were children. And, people call them dreamers, DACA. I call them illegal. Right. It is what it is. It's unfortunate. Parents make bad mistakes all the time, and children have to deal with the consequences. It is what it is. But this is California saying, no, we're going to protect these people, even if they carjack a car with one of your children in it.
Wow.
One of your
How?
children. But just listen to him. He's been in this nation 25 years. And you guys know my heart. I'm not being racist in this, but he sounds like he just came from Mexico yesterday. Like, what's going on? He does not sound like an American citizen. He does not. He doesn't give that ring of Americanism that we're used to hearing from young people. Moreover, he was gleeful.
Yeah.
You can't touch me. I'm untouchable.
Yeah, you heard him saying the party
Yeah.
line. He was saying, what did he say in the beginning of it? He was saying how, well, they called me illegal just because I'm here illegal.
Right.
I haven't done anything illegal. Yes,
Of course you've done something illegal.
He has a whole crime record.
He has a record. But here's the thing. Up until maybe January, having a criminal record was something that they frowned upon, but they did no action for, right? Especially for these so-called children that grew up here, these dreamers, these DACA people who grew up here. They feel like, this is the only nation I've ever known. How are you going to deport me to a nation that I've never been to? But again, like I keep telling you, they got passports to these foreign nations. They belong. They're a citizen of that nation.
So please continue those super chats to help to keep us online, and like, share, and subscribe. Our goal is to hit 200,000 subscribers by Labor Day. We can do it with your help. Share this broadcast, send it in a DM, post it on your social media, and of course, subscribe.